Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to the Shadow and Sun Show, and welcome back for another second breakfast. Ah, I'm stuffed. How about you guys? Good breakfast? Bacon and toast, one of my favorites. Simple but perfect. If I could only pair that up with a cup of coffee. Oh my goodness. And what do we have here? Look what the cat dragged in. I'm trying, man. Oh, now he leaves.
I gotta grab coffee. Hang on.
Oh, you bastard. He can have it, but I can't. See how things are? Can't win for losing. Oh my
Why
god.
can't you have coffee?
Because I said I wouldn't until I got healed.
What's wrong with you?
I was drinking too much. I was drinking so much that it ripped my stomach and insides apart. Literally,
Coffee?
coffee. Yeah, coffee was breakfast and lunch until I got down to about 150 pounds. Trying to lose weight, and I thought, oh, I'll just drink coffee. That'll work. It
Yeah, I think
did.
that has less to do with the coffee and more to do with you not eating.
Yeah, it was. I was being really, really obsessive
Dumb?
about. Yeah,
Oh well.
yeah.
Anyway,
I,
honey.
but that was like a decade ago. I'm getting there. I can eat other things that I couldn't. Unfortunately, I gained all that freaking weight thanks to COVID, and now I feel like shit.
Dude, I literally had my bypass surgery in 2020, January 25th, 2020. And then the day I got cleared by the surgeons to start going to the gym was the day the government locked down everything and closed all the gyms. So when you have that type of surgery, that first 6 months is your peak window to drop weight before your body starts adjusting to the new sort of system. So you can sort of shock it. And I lost that window. Now, I still lost 100 pounds, but I should have lost 250. You know what I mean? I should have been like, woohoo, but
I,
nope.
I can't imagine that. I'm a little guy. I'm only 5'10", so my ideal weight's about 165, maybe 185 if I'm getting ripped, which it's been a while. Excuse me, Cal. Where's Bear's cats? They're all I care about.
It's probably sleeping in my room.
Howdy, Cal. Enjoy your walk. I wish I could enjoy walks more. If I'm not doing something like you take me to the swap meet or even freaking grocery shopping, I'll walk around all damn day. If I'm doing something, but just like walking around, uh, just for the sake of that, just bores the shit out of me. Even when I do go for a walk, I take a book. You know,
Well, with my fucking arthrosis in my knee, walking is a nightmare, right? So, but I have to, and but it's just because now I live on the top floor, and it's a walk up. So
Mhm.
like, it's by the time I get to the bottom, my knee's already starting to hurt a little bit, and then if I go for just a walk around the block, it's a big block. These are big city blocks here, not like New York where there's 100 streets. My knees are
Uh-oh.
done. Oh God, look at this guy.
Hey, how's it going?
He's
What's
still
this?
got that smile. What's going on, man? What
I
are you up to, man?
I almost always have a smile.
You lately you seem like you're like, I don't know, big time peace with the world, something like that. I don't know.
I'm on a quasi vacation. It's spring break.
I've been on a spring break for 25 years. I still never got that smile.
Dad, no one cares about your stupid Vietnam stories.
If
Nope,
only.
it's been good. I've had a lot of time to, check out some stuff. Do some gaming, do some, get ready to do some writing again. So
Cool. I
looking
need to do
forward
that
to it.
too. I need to
So
get
and
back to
then
writing, but I've been flaking.
yeah, it's been a while, and I just got a copy of Matt Finch's Tome of Adventure Writing, the revised edition. And I started picking through there, and I'm like, oh my gosh, I was like, there's certain things there that I was already doing, but other ones I just didn't have in the back of my mind when I'm writing an adventure.
Mhm.
And I'm
I
like, oh my
would have
gosh, I really
I
should be
would have
doing
done the
that.
collab with you this morning, but I don't want to. I think Matt and I have a beef. I could be thinking of somebody different, so I want to double check. but I want to make sure he's not the guy that I'm mad at. Um,
Matt Finch, the
yeah.
the guy that wrote.
Really? Matt? The nicest guy I've ever met.
I know.
Uh,
It can't be him.
okay. You guys, neither of you probably know or have ever heard of Galactic 25. It was a line of miniatures by Heritage Miniatures or Heritage Models back in 79, 81. They went out of business. My buddy bought the rights to the miniatures. He owns them and their likenesses, etc. And the three of us, I mean, I did some work to help bring the game back to life decades ago. And it was either Matt or another guy who tried to make a Kickstarter using those miniatures, but in 28 millimeter scale, having them scanned and do something with them in the way of a Kickstarter, offering my friend $0 with zero permissions, not even a word, just kind of sneakily, I'm just going to do this thing. He probably won't notice. He might even be dead kind of attitude. And that got shut down. And if it was Matt, then I want to punch him in the nose. And if it wasn't, my apologies. But I got to go do the research. But that name like came up. That's what I thought, or that's what I thought when I heard the name. So there might be a connection, but it got nipped in the bud before lawyers had to get involved. So let me check it because I've actually talked to Matt about other stuff uh, before that and stuff. And if I'm mixing him up with somebody else, my apologies, but it's not like he watches this show. So
So you with
right,
miniatures? I don't know
yeah,
if he's ever had anything to do with
yeah,
miniatures.
I could be totally just a senior moment thing.
Yeah, Matt is
Yeah.
not Matt is not an uncommon name. It's not like
Yeah, it's
No, it's
Matthew
not.
is and Finch is not an uncommon name either.
right.
Yeah.
So this is Matt Finch. So I think he was involved with Osric. Correct me if I'm wrong there, but I'm pretty
I think
sure it's
so.
Osric, then Sword of Wizardry for sure,
Mhm.
Yeah.
and then
Hey, squirrel.
and now this series
Squirrel.
of books that he put out. Uh, series of books he put out, Tomb of Adventure Writing, then a world building, and then the Namamonicon, or however you say that word.
Okay,
So anyway, I mean, he did the OSR primer as well. He wrote the OSR primer. So
cool.
I have a feeling you're thinking of a different Matt.
It might even be a completely different name.
Yeah,
It could be Jim Wampler.
it
It
might even
could
be Matt.
be yeah, it could be a bunch of different other people, all of which you don't watch the show, including my friend who I'm talking about, because he's too busy and stuff. It's amazing, how people who are like close in your life have no idea what you do online.
Yeah.
You show them, you send them the links, and they're like, "Huh? You do what?"
Well, I don't have my camera on right now because I'm actually sitting downstairs having a cup of coffee
You guys and your damn
sitting in my
coffee.
couch,
Just
and I'm not at my desk. So
next, you're gonna light up cigarettes and freaking break out the bong and have a couple of hookers show up. All the things I can't do anymore.
The fuck? You think I made him money?
Who says you
I
need
know
money?
Weed ain't
cigarettes are
free.
about four
Weed ain't
times
free.
the
Hookers
price
ain't
that they were
free.
when I quit. I quit smoking when they went up to $4.25 a pack. I was like, I can't afford this shit.
Okay. This lasts me 1 month, okay, for this. Cost me shipping everything and then the two fucking government taxes, federal and provincial, $72 1 month.
If they could go up to $20 a pack, I'd still smoke them if I could.
Pack of cigarettes for the brand I smoke, 23 to $26 if I can find them because they don't carry them everywhere because they're too expensive now.
Like I said, I quit when they hit like $4, a little over $4.
I started when they were 25 cents a pack. So
I forget how much they. I don't know how much they were when I first started, and when I first started smoking on a more regular basis, which I would have been about like 14 years old. My mother bought my cigarettes because she was afraid that if I bummed cigarettes off other people, they would slip me the pot. So she used to buy my cigarettes because she was afraid people would slip
It's like,
marijuana in cigarettes that they were
Mom,
giving.
do you understand, Mom, that marijuana is not free? No one's giving it the fuck away,
Back
Mom.
then,
They're selling it.
back then it was all backyard weed. It was always free. Everyone
Yeah,
was
right.
growing
But
in their
but but
backyards.
but I mean, if people were slipping marijuana in cigarettes, I would have started younger.
Yeah, well, you want to know a funny story? I'll tell you a funny story. My buddy worked this back in late 80s, 89, 88, 89, around then. My buddy was working, we were renting a house together. There was like 7 of us renting this townhouse while we were at college and working in bars. And my buddy was working, he worked at a flea market. So one day he's finishing work at the flea market and he's cleaning up the stall, and someone has left a pack of cigarettes on the counter, right by the edge of the stall. So he picks it up, opens it up, and it's a full deck. And he's like, he puts it in his pocket. Fuck it, I got free smokes. On the way home, he's waiting for the bus. He takes out one of the cigarettes. He notices it's a bit heavy, doesn't think about it, and tries to light it. And he's like, that's not tobacco. As he looks, peels the paper down. Someone had taken hash, formed it into the tubes, and then put them in empty, those like make 'em cigarettes that you do at home, and put them in there and put them in the pack. So he's got 25, because that's how big our packs are here. 25 hash cigarettes, essentially. They're all like just like maybe 4 grams each, 4 or 5 grams each of these tubes, and he's got 25 of them. Right, so he gets home and he's like, this guy tells us the story. We're like, that's fucking amazing. He goes, well, you each get one. Thanks, And then he went and he sold the rest. Okay, there's rent.
Don't do drugs, kids. Stay in school. Drugs are
Yeah,
bad. Okay.
don't do school. Stay in drugs.
Yeah. Right. Well, we are.
Yeah. No, my only vice left is like once every 3 or 4 months, I'll have a shot of rum. That's it. It's like,
Other than vaping, my only
usually
vice
during
left
a
is
live
coffee.
stream, I'll be like, all right, let me have my shot of rum. Bottle will last me almost a year and a half. It's like,
Nice.
That wouldn't last me 2 hours, man. If I drink,
yeah. No,
that's
I
why I don't
just
drink.
feel like all of my vices are pretty much gone.
Well, we still got this.
Well, this isn't
I
a
don't know about
vice.
vice.
This isn't unhealthy.
Oh,
This
no,
is-
it's unhealthy.
I don't know. Although I have been working on my weight, so maybe that's the only
I was going to say,
unhealthy part of it.
you met a 50-year-old gamer that's in shape, other than off grid. I don't know of one.
Well, Ducato's in pretty decent shape too. I mean, well, he's a former
Well, Cal
cop, so
and Squirrel.
yeah,
Okay,
doesn't
I'm
really
wrong.
count, so.
It's just us.
Coco's pretty damn good shit.
Yeah.
I
Coco's a
think,
good guy, man.
I mean,
I think you're full
I was
of
in
poop.
pretty damn good shape until I hit mid-40s. That's when I started really putting on weight and everything.
I managed to stave it off until COVID. I was doing pretty good, but then COVID came, and like Bear said, the only things that shut down here were the vitamin shops. Yeah, weird.
Oh no, they shut down everything. I couldn't even go. We weren't even allowed to go for a walk. Like, do you understand? We were like told to shelter in place essentially. And then after a while, they started letting us go out for essentials. Like, that's when the delivery business for groceries boomed here. Was because people couldn't even go to the goddamn grocery store. So the only people who were allowed out were people who were doing essential services or things like that. The rest of us were. If you went for a walk, and a cop came along, you were getting stopped and possibly ticketed. It was insane how draconian it was here.
Yeah, that's.
Well, yeah, Canada gets a little bit. They're pretty draconian.
In Australia,
in general.
But hey, let's face it, nobody beat China. Nobody beat them.
He's not fun anymore. He's ruined his reputation for me. I can't do my impersonation of him anymore.
Jackie's impersonation of him gets better every day. He can do Trump, Biden, Obama. he is getting so good at that shit. And when I try to do Trump, I sound like Jackie doing Trump. So
That's the secret to an impersonation. Is someone unlocks it, and then you're no longer doing an impersonation of the person. You're doing the impersonation of the person who unlocked the impersonation.
if I could just get down freaking Christopher Walken, a Die a Happy Man. That's
I used to be able
enough.
to do it really well, but I fell out of practice. So now all I do is talk like this because this is a better way to do things when you live in the Baja.
Oh, so anyway,
All right,
yeah.
fuck
So
both
I'm
you.
getting ready
Fuck you
to.
both. That was a really good fucking Jesse Ventura, but you also just gave me crickets on that.
Yeah,
So
I just
double deuces. Double deuces.
I'm not a big fan of him anymore. He used to be fun. Now he's sad and pathetic.
Yeah, he pretty much lost his marbles. But I mean,
Everybody loses their marbles. Have you not been paying attention to old men?
yeah, I don't know. Like sometimes they just go over the deep end. Like it's like, whoa, what the hell happened here? It's like,
Yeah,
I have
uh,
seen zero celebrities over the age of 60 make sense in the public forum anymore. They've all just narrowed down to whatever their crazy is, and that's all they focus on, right? Even Carlin, towards the end, was losing his mind.
his name I hadn't heard in a while.
So we all have that to look forward to in about 10 years or so. That should be fun.
Speak for yourself. It's like tomorrow.
nope. I'm like I said, as Shadow said, I seem to be getting happier as I get older. So it's like,
That's
Could be the Alzheimer's slowly kicking in as you're forgetting shit, you know?
yeah,
God. What a living hell that would be for guys like us. You know,
Hmm. It's
forgetting
my
all of
fear.
this.
It's
You
my
know,
fear. I
you
watched
know.
my grandma. I watched it happen to my grandmother. I watched it happen to my father. Now I'm adopted, so I don't share their genetic ancestry. But I watched it happen to two very smart people, and it was
yep. No,
terrifying.
I expect that won't kick in until my 80s, like both my parents.
You expect to live to your 80s? Wow.
I would think so. Yeah. If I look at, well, you see, because it follows your mother's side, right? So you have to look at what your mother's age was, grandmother, so on and so forth.
I can't.
Life expectancy. So my mother passed when she was 84. My father happened to pass when he was 84 as well. But my mother passed at 84. My grandmother on my mother's side, she was younger, but she was a full-blown alcoholic. So that's,
Mine too.
that's not. And then, but my great grandmother on my mother's side, she was 104. And she was either, yeah, she was either a Russian or Ukrainian. I'm not even sure which, but she was
Welcome
like
to the
one of
club.
those. She was like one of those old ladies that would drink a quart of vodka, in a sitting and smoked a pipe. That was like, and she lived until she was like 104.
Yeah.
And that was
That
daily,
vodka will tickle you.
like drinking vodka, and I'll never forget. She could dip her hands into boiling water, cutting dumplings like it was nothing. Her arm flaps would be resting on the freaking side of the pot. Like, how the hell don't you feel that shit? It's like, and they're like unbelievable, how
Wow.
much she could put herself through, and it just like act like it was nothing. But that might have been the vodka that she was drinking too. It's like it just had
Well, I gotta
no
ask, what was
feeling.
she smoking? Opium? I mean, could have been that.
No, she was smoking just a smoking a corn pipe. It was like not even anything modern. But she was an interesting old lady. What a life she had. You know, came to the United States, fled the Russian Revolution. So she came into the United States like in 1914, 15, somewhere in there, and then my grandfather and her son, my grandfather. So my mother's father, he was kind of he was kind of a useless person. Family. Well, not very much a family guy. So, which was not surprising because he married a drunkard. So, but anyway,
Hmm.
yeah.
You
So
just spouted off.
I expect to possibly get into my mid 80s, looking at my own family history before I totally lose my marbles.
No one
You
likes
you
a
you you
braggart,
just
sir.
Mm.
you just rattled off more information about your family than I know about my family.
Yeah.
So
Seriously. Seriously.
yeah, I have no clue. I mean, all the things I do know, I don't want to know. Like, uh, my grandfather probably murdered and burned his wife alive, or using a house fire to cover it up. Um, oh, okay, we've got two. How do we have? How do we have two Bloodworths here?
I don't know. I thought I hit a button and all of a sudden, so
Okay, well, I'm gonna get rid of that imposter.
No, that
Okay,
was the wrong one. You got rid of the good one.
mm,
So get
that's
rid
okay.
of the
weird.
one that's, yeah.
That's
Yeah,
weird
that
There
how
we
was
they
go.
did
weird.
that. That's
Yeah,
weird how they
I
did that.
pressed the button and all of a sudden, I it wasn't even a leave. I
Okay,
was
I'm
like,
going to. Can I make this guy go away? No, I can't. Okay, I didn't mean to do that. Oh my god, it's so finicky, so touchy. There we go. You still
Computer's
there with
hard,
us?
isn't it? Isn't it,
yeah,
Grandpa?
I should move up to my computer. It'll make it a little bit easier.
No worries, no worries.
Yeah.
Oh,
In about an hour, I'm going to
so
be meeting up with the OGGM, start getting his villains and vigilantes character ready to roll, and we'll do our first
nice,
session
nice. Always a fun
today
game.
and see how that goes.
Yeah, I'm gonna have him on the show next week. It's been a while, just to talk about his latest thing that he's working on.
Q.
And how about you, Bear?
Yeah.
What are you working on?
StarQuest, always StarQuest these days.
StarQuest. And when do you expect
StarQuest is
that to
my
be
my
ready for release?
when it's ready. That's my answer to
Okay.
everybody on everything. When's it going to release? When it's ready.
Now, let me ask you
I
something.
take the
So,
Steve Jobs mentality on that.
so are you going to have ship to ship combat?
Yeah, we're working on that. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. We're trying
That's
to
the
keep it
one
the theater
thing.
of the mind.
Yeah, because that's the one thing I was kind of disappointed with the RPG pundits Star Adventurer. I was like, how do you put this out there and there's no ship to ship combat, no build your own ship kind of thing in there, no none of that. I was like, nah, that's making the same mistake that Wizards of the Coast did with their
Spelljammer.
Spelljammer. Yeah, it was like no ship to ship combat.
No.
Um, Here's the thing. I just reviewed um, Final Frontier by the Red Room. There are starships, but for the most part, you're playing people who have very little, control over that, and it's not meant to be that kind of game. If that's stated in the beginning, this isn't that game. Cool, but if you're trying to make like the one and all comprehensive Traveler esque or Star Frontier kind of game where you can do anything,
Mm.
then you kind of got to do everything.
Yeah, no, I'm not into if it doesn't have at the bare minimum what Star Frontiers had, what are you doing? It's like, how are you making a modern game that doesn't have what was combination of Alpha Dawn, Nighthawks,
Hmm.
and
Hmm.
even the
I've got
Zeb's
mine down
Guide.
here. Well, you got to remember what what we've learned in the last, since Star Frontiers and the original Traveler came out about astrophysics and space.
Hmm.
A lot of that becomes less and less, realistic or viable. You've got to jump. You really got to jump ahead in time to be able to use the old hand wavium and unobtainium and the other exotic materials and technologies to make it work. And a lot
But
of games lately.
that's what science fiction is meant to be. You're not supposed to be grounded in, the real science. You're supposed to be grounded in, you
Well,
know, what is just out of current reach.
sci-fi has multiple genres now. It's got you got your space opera, you got your hard sci-fi, you've got your sci-fi fantasy. So depending on if you're going to try to fit into one of those little niches, then things are a little bit different. I've actually been on a very old school space opera deep dive, looking at 1930s and 40s sci-fi, because it's got the most optimistic, not optimistic, aspirational view before it was clouded with all the dark this and the grim dark that, and some interesting crazy ideas back then.
Oh, you remember, like, Dick Tracy had the TV watch,
Mm-hmm,
which
mm-hmm,
you can absolutely have today. I was like,
mm-hmm. Yes, yes. I was actually thinking about getting one, but then I remembered I don't even like carrying my regular phone around, so I'm not going to get into the old. Uh oh. Who's that? Oh no! Here comes trouble. How you doing, Owen?
Hey, doing okay.
yeah, how's it going?
Good. How are you all? Hey, Bear. Glad that everything's working for you now.
Yeah, it was weird. It was weird. I logged in, it would not give me a connection. It was very aggravating.
I must have missed that.
Oh,
It was
It was a few days ago. He would
a few
log in,
days
log
ago.
out. Yeah.
Remember, you guys were doing something. I came by to say hi.
Oh,
And then
oh, oh, oh. Okay, okay. Oh yeah, yeah. Alzheimer's is already kicking in and kicking my ass.
well, back on the topic of sci-fi's, I'm gonna start looking at FASA Star Trek.
Well, that was the inspiration for StarQuest.
Yeah, I'm gonna start doing a deeper dive on that.
It's an unplayable system, but it's got some great ideas.
I heard a lot of people say it is playable. I never played it back in the
You
day.
have to ignore the action point rules. They have this entire series of rules for like what your character can do every round, and it's just absolutely unplayable. And I've never seen anyone like after trying to use it once or twice, they'll just throw it out and use a regular round system, and don't
I've never
question
even
that.
read my copy.
No, it was the first game I ever played. Right, it was what got me started in role playing games.
Oh, let's see. Oh, that's weird. I gotta flip my camera. I'm just gonna switch to my computer.
Okay.
No worries.
Alrighty then.
Now I was just coming in as you all were talking about different parts of sci-fi. I was like, oh, okay.
Well, I'd love to talk about different parts of sci-fi. It's a very fascinating thing, but at the end of the day, like anything else, it's a matter of taste. It's what you prefer versus what is arguably the best. There is no arguably the best. Just like there's no arguably the best superhero, arguably the best fantasy, arguably the best horror. It's always going to be what you prefer, and then within that, you can make strong contenders for what is best in those fields. But again, it's very subjective.
Well, all RPGs. And the other part is, it depends on your mood. Sometimes cyberpunk, which is near future, or
Near
technically
future,
past future.
today,
Yeah.
it's
I'm gonna
perfectly
close this
today.
one out. I'll be right in there.
Well, I guess it depends on
Or-
what year you're talking about. But it's near. If you want to do the Shadowrun style, you can go off to that side too. But that's very close to modern day. It's just the horizon.
Okay, I'm going to assume this is you. Is that
Yep,
you?
that's me. I'm just waiting
Okay,
for my
I'm going to click that
camera.
off.
Look at
Okay.
that. Shadow figured out the internet. I'm so proud of you.
Well, no, he changed his icon, and
Yeah,
literally the old when there was two of your icons, your avatars, whatever. The one that was the older one, I assumed was the original. So when I clicked on the one that just popped up, that they had somehow magically switched places, and it wasn't the one that I wanted, and it wasn't the one where you were located. It was weird.
Okay.
You know what I find the most aggravating though is player dishonesty, or not necessarily dishonesty, but just not like telling you like what they're looking for, and then
yeah.
halfway through they decide to tell you, oh, this isn't what I thought it was or what you advertised, blah blah blah. It's like, you're an adult, right? We have these things called questions and communication, and all you got to do is open your freaking big fat mouth and ask me a question or make a
Yeah,
statement,
I
and
I'm
think
they
saying big
thinking of
fat
someone that
mouth really, really does push the openness in communication. I think that's the thing, right? As long as you're belittling them as you're asking for communication, it should work out well for you.
well,
well,
I'm not literally talking to anyone in particular, but I'm
I'm fucking with you,
describing a
Shadow.
phenomenon that I've been noticing lately. It's like, like we're mind readers, or we're perfect,
Yeah.
and we're going to give you the perfect virtual experience from having read your deepest, darkest desires, and give you everything you
So,
want.
have you not heard me make my case for why it is exactly I do pre-gen characters and don't let players make their own characters anymore? And I've made the mistake recently of letting people do that, and it's ruined and killed the campaigns. Because I am not a mind reader. I cannot read your mind to know exactly that cool scene you envisioned in your head when you made Thruxtor kill fuck, where you had this scene in your head that you would just fantasize about, Thruxor kill fuck on the side of the mountain fighting the orc army by himself and the lightning of the. I didn't know any of that. So you're never going to get what you want out of the campaign. I'm never going to be able to deliver it to you, right?
Yeah, I'm not a fan of
But,
pre-gens.
well, let me finish before you shut it off there, grognard. Jesus. But if I give you a character that is a framework and say, here's a little bit about him, here's a little bit about his background, here's a little bit. Now you, like an actor doing Shakespeare, show me your interpretation of this character. Bring them to life in your individual way. That's going to be a fulfilling thing for both of us. The idea of I need to make my own character is absolute ego and has no basis in anything other than I need to see me represented in what I'm doing versus I'm here to play a game and do something as a group. That's all I say. And that's my difference. That's it. Doesn't work for
so,
everybody, but it works for me.
so to be fair, because actually I know exactly what I was talking about, because we were playing with someone who literally had a meltdown about that. Clint, this isn't what you told me it was going to be. It was like, this is exactly what we said at the very beginning it was going to be.
Really? The guy crashed
Yeah,
out?
it was. I think it was a Traveler game. It was out there, and we're like, well, what do you mean? We told you specifically that this is what it was going to be, at the beginning. And I don't know what, we're not trying to name any names here, but
Without saying anybody's names,
yeah,
I honestly think it was more something else. But
I
that is
agree.
the that was the
Excuse they used.
yeah.
Yes,
Thank you.
but I
Uh,
mean, it was
as opposed to like addressing the actual issue, which wouldn't have been a bad idea. Probably wouldn't have even been taken the wrong way or anything like that, because the person knew damn well what they were doing. Versus making it about something else that actually, while it may have been an issue in their mind, uh, it wasn't an issue in reality.
it was probably a combination of things, but I'm just saying I don't understand some of that, and I think this is where it does help with like a game system. If we're going to play Cyberpunk, if you're familiar with Cyberpunk, you know what you're kind of getting into. I
Yeah.
think sometimes people feel cheated if they're going to get something else. Well, I thought it was going to be this, and instead it suddenly went this direction. I said, okay, I can feel the bait and switch if that was the case. But if we say, hey, we're going to be playing Traveler at this point, And I like using Traveler because it has those technical levels. If I say, hey, it's Tech 9, you're not going to get Star Trek, transporter systems and things like that. If you get into like 14 to 15, you're like, oh, okay. If you play Star Trek, you have a certain expectation that you'll be playing Star Trek.
And yet, so many people don't get that when they agree to play Star Trek, and then they get mad because they have to. Why does he get to tell me what to do? Well, he's the captain. Like that's why the
Oh yeah,
captain
yeah,
gets
yeah.
to tell you what to do.
I kind of like. I'd probably be kind of guilty of that. That's why I've never been really.
You? No way. You're the most easygoing, flexible player I've ever met in my life. I've never
Especially
seen
if it's
someone who is easier to get along with.
especially if it's a woman. I can't do it. I can't do it. No woman tells me what to do in game or otherwise. It's not going to happen.
All right, caveman.
All right,
All
thank
right.
you, Middle Easterner. Um,
Hey, not everybody's 100% wrong.
No, no,
Nor
no, no. Inshallah, inshallah. We understand, man. We understand.
well, no, the
Bismillah,
reason I
bismillah.
mentioned that is specifically that was one of the things they talked about
Yeah,
doing airport security in Israel.
That's
No,
why
in
in Fair's
Israel,
last
that's
game,
one of the things they do is they
I
have a
kind of
woman come
lost my
in.
shit. I was like, what?
Well, no, they have a woman specifically come in to do that, and that's how they start identifying certain personnel. Yeah, it's interesting, but I'm like, fine, I don't care. Like most things, I don't care as long as you're competent, and that's all I really care about. But like you said, I have no problems with that. Of course, I grew up where my grandmother was head of the family, so that's a very different thing. Now she was as sweet as could be, but she knew and how to like push people's buttons so they would say yes. But
after I share Bear's image, I want to address this comment.
oh, which one?
We ruined we ruined the internet. I'm going back outside. Oh shit! Forgot we burned outside too.
Roomed outside too.
Yeah.
Well,
So
I do have to say this much is if you sign up for something within reason, let people know what's going on. I do think that depending on what's in it, at certain times, like I don't like a certain system. If I don't like a certain system, like, okay, it's just not for me. When we were playing GURPS, so I couldn't do that. It's not that GURPS was, I just don't like the system of GURPS.
I'll say it. GURPS is awful. I can't stand GURPS.
But that's
real quick, okay, hold on.
It's like, hey, this system isn't for me.
Cal, I'm going to get your comment. I swear to Christ that we will get your comment. GURPS, when I first saw it and when I first, wrapped my head around the idea, I'm like, this is going to be the greatest thing ever. And then, And then the idea occurred to me, codifying every freaking breath, every second by second, is going to drag on like a living hell. So, Cal says, anyone else notice how many flakes in the gaming area?
Tons.
I don't know that it's actually so much the individuals as opposed to the habits that the internet has fostered.
We forget that the origins of our hobby were the antisocial, right? They were the outsiders, the fringe lords. So that's never left, right? That lack of socialness.
Not at all. But the internet has made it so much easier for the worst traits and habits to just be, oh, it's cool, no worries, you do you, bro. You want to be
I found a solution for that, man. I found a really easy solution for that. You know what that solution is?
Wood chipper.
No, just, hey, you got to be on camera while we're doing it. Well, I won't be on camera. Well, then you can't play. Gets rid of the antisocial people real fucking fast, let me tell you. Weeds them right out.
Like for example, Cal can rarely actually be on camera because of tech issues.
I'm not saying it's a blanket solution that fixes everybody and some people don't get crushed by that bus as it rolls through town, but that's the price you pay.
Yeah.
Crush them with the bus. Sorry, Cal. Hate to throw you under the bus, buddy.
I think, when we talk about flakes is people say they're going to do something. To be fair, I had friends like this all the time in real life. Hey, do you want to go to the movie? Well, maybe. And what she was really saying was, well, if something better doesn't come up, I'll show up.
Well, you said there's a key word in there. You said she. Okay. First off, men and women can't be friends.
Sure, they
So
can.
if you no, they can't.
If you can't be friends, then you don't know what it is to friend zone a woman. Go ahead.
Yeah, it's easy
I've
to be
never.
friends with a woman. As long as you don't want to fuck her. That's the thing. Men and women can't
Yes.
be friends if they don't want to, can be friends if they don't want to fuck each other.
Yep.
I suppose maybe, but uh, up until recently, there was always someone wanted to do somebody.
I
Okay,
understand that, but what I'm
caveman.
saying in this case is, on average, and you're saying this is, I've just used one particular friend because she was notorious for this. Was, hey, if there's something better that comes along, so she would never commit to anything, and we're just like, okay, we're doing this whether you like it or not. Hey, we're gonna go to such and such movie.
I've
Show up
said
if
that,
you
but
want.
that's only gotten me arrested.
But no, I mean that's the truth. Show up if you want to show up, and that's it. But that's the difference between having an open table, like it's what Gygax did. You show up that night, you get to play. You don't show up, your character stays off on the sidelines. He isn't doing crap, and that's one aspect to it. But you have to have a big enough group that you can do a round robin thing with. But I think that's part of it. Yeah, but yeah, the net didn't make him flakes. Exactly. It's we say gamers, but man, it's hard to get a group together. Now, the group that I game with that I'm going to go on this weekend, he's asking, well, who's going to show up on Friday? And we're all coming like 3 hours away. We're like, well, we're going to show up, but they aren't flakes. If they don't show up, they're either on a job, usually at an oil rig, or we say, hey, we can't make it at this time. But there's always some excuse. There's always some really good excuse that, hey, we had planned to doing this, because if you have to drive 3 hours, you're not just like, hey, we'll show up if we feel like it. So that's that. But that's a difference between having hardcore gamers and having someone that's just like, I do this on the side just because. And I do notice it's an age thing too. Younger people tend to have more going on in a social life, whereas we tend to say, I would like stability every day.
I disagree, because when I was running games when I was younger, we all were able to play and people showed up. Running games
Mhm.
as an older person, it's, oh, I can't do that thing. Oh, I can't do that. Oh, I got
I
this
have to
thing.
agree with you
I got
there.
it, blah, 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 blah. It's like,
Mhm.
no, younger people have more free schedule, I think, than older people.
Mhm.
But I don't. But I mean, but they tend not to flake out. Is if they say something is, hey, I have X on Saturday. They don't say, hey, I'm going to show up on Friday and not show up. They usually tell you like a week or two in advance. Hey, I'm going on vacation on this day. I'm doing this.
Older people? No. I've had older people cancel at the last minute, like, oh, my mom needs me to take her grocery shopping. What am I going to do? Tell your fucking 70-year-old mom to suck a bag of sand because you made a commitment for a game? No, obviously. Go take your fucking mom grocery shopping.
Well, I mean,
You have so few years left with her. Like, enjoy
But
them.
you know what? I will say this much. My mother's always like, how do you is it okay? I'm like, Mom, I made a schedule. We're going to do this whether you like it or not. But my mother's also been very good about, hey, during certain, if I'm going to do this, she's like, well, go have fun, honey.
You're not Jewish.
I know that's just true.
You have no Jewish in you if your mom's like, no, go have fun. And it
No,
wasn't a fucking trap.
well, my
Also,
mother's great.
Catholics, same thing with Catholics, by the way. No,
Well, my mother's
go. And
Greek
it's a trap.
Orthodox. Well, no, my mother's Greek Orthodox, but
See, that's different. No, Greek Orthodox are very wonderful people who don't play guilt games with each other. They
well,
just
my
tell you you're
father
a
doesn't.
disappointment. They just tell you you're a disappointment instead. That's the other
Well,
one, right?
no, my father was the same way, and he was Greek. He is Roman Catholic, but
Mhm.
it was always like, son, your job is more important. You don't have to come visit us. I'm like, I have vacation. I'm going to use it, Dad. But
No, go make money. Go find another way to make money. You never know. Things change.
well, but I would be actually there with them, except that I couldn't drive because I had a bad gout flare up. I was like, damn it.
Get a bank elk flare up?
Bad gout flare up.
Bad gout. I heard bank elk. I'm like, what the fuck is a bank elk? I want to know more about this.
I see. You heard that. I'm like, gout. What the fuck? We're back
Have
in
you been
1800s?
drinking the pee-pee? Because that's how you get gout, apparently, drinking the pee-pee.
I've been
Like
drinking. Well, I've had gout since my
1896 or something.
mid-20s. But no, these are things that whenever we're discussing with it is and I of course I told my son, hey, it's unfortunate, but he didn't show up for his D&D, and he says, well, you're supposed to do this, and I'd like to do that. I said, well, I will drive you, son. So I drove him an hour so he could play his D&D with his friends. then drove back home. Now we're back. But yeah, it's I understand that there's real life things. I do think it's. I mean, I hate saying this. I do think it's kind of shitty when. Of course, we're going off of sci-fi here. When it's shitty when you have
Oh,
other
we'll
people
bring
who,
it back around.
well, I do think it's shitty whenever you have people that know that you're going to be doing something on certain days or nights, and you have it scheduled, and then they come up and say, "Oh, by the way, is it okay if we do this?" Like, well, wait a minute. If it's not critical, I've made an agreement for this. I'm going to show up for it. You could have told me this 2 weeks ago or 3 weeks ago. Well,
Yeah. Oh my God, my boy's killing me with that. We've got this big giveaway, right?
yeah,
Been planning it for like over a year to give away a whole bunch of crap that I've been buying, just so I can give it away, right?
yes.
Thank people for being with us all these years.
Chill. Oh, I'm so sorry. I don't know what this is. Chill. I've got a cough. I don't know what's happening.
You're funny. Um, and I told him, okay, April, blah blah blah. We're doing the thing. You got to be there. Can't miss it. All you got to do is be my Vanna White and roll some dice, make some snide comments, and then toddle off and do whatever the hell you were going to do. It's a Saturday freaking night, which he's going to do. What? Be online anyways. Either playing a game, writing, drawing, something, whatever. A couple days ago, he tells me, "Oh, well, what day's the giveaway?" And I tell him, "He's like, oh, it's Saber Finals, or it is this Saber event where he's teaching sabers, to his underclassmen, and he's got to be there. I don't know if it's an awards ceremony or what, but it's like, he's really into this, which is awesome." And I'm like, shit. Of course, it's got to be that day, something that I will, if he's doing it, of course, I'm going to drop whatever, stuff we were going to do otherwise for that, to see him perform and do his thing, but, you know, it just,
Kids today with their Sabers and their Zima and their Dan Fogelberg records.
it's just like, it could have been, any other Saturday, it'd be like no big freaking deal. But
So
it's got to
move
be,
your event.
and I'm looking forward to it. Every time he's in front of people on stage doing something, what dad doesn't want to see that shit, right?
And I understand that's where Bear was talking about things coming up. Hey, that's I do understand, but it still feels. I don't want to put this
Personal, a personal attack against my freaking plans, and the universe is trying to piss me off again. Yes, exactly.
Yep. So that, but no. Going back to this, because I've just gotten my Blade Runner RPG 2 days ago. Back
It's
to
a nice
sci-fi.
box set, isn't it?
What's
It's a
that?
great box set.
I have the box set, the Replicant Rebellion, which was their new book that they just came out, the hardcover book, and then the other box set, which is their second adventure kind of thing,
Mhm.
of their case files.
I
was
sold all
looking
my
at-
Blade Runner stuff. The minute it was like, you're playing a team of Blade Runners, I'm like, fuck this, I'm out.
I could see squeezing a year out of it, but that's about it. 50-ish games, barring cancellations and things, illnesses, flu season, whatever. I think I could get 48 to 50 sessions out of it, provided you don't have like a group of like 6 to 8 players wanting to do it. If you've got like
I'm
4 or
telling
5,
you, it is designed for four players.
yeah.
It's like it will fall apart. In my opinion, it will fall apart with less than 4 or more than 4. It is really designed for those 4-player characters in particular, or 4-player characters of those skills if you want to have your players create their own. But that's certainly the case for Case File 1, and Case File 2 requires the player characters from Case File 1. You know what I'm saying? They did not. And then when they were coming out with the Kickstarter for Case File 3, I was like, are you going to, because they're adding new classes, or new professions, whatever, are you going to add more pre-gens? Nope, they never bothered to add more pre-gens. I was like, I'd make it a stretch goal, for Christ's sakes. Nope, they're not.
Which game was this?
Blade Runner.
Blade Runner.
Are they doing another Kickstarter for it?
It's a great game. It works really well. It's a great game for convention play too. Players really get into it, but it is dependent on 4-player characters. It is dependent on you having those particular professions. And then they got lazy, or just stupid with not having stretch goals and add more, add a pre-gen for each of the new professions that they introduced in the new buy. So I was like, I'm not even buying this. I was like, you just did you just disincentivized me even looking at this at this point.
I don't know. I mean, I don't know what 2 Viewers 3, because like I said, I just got my Kickstarter in.
I got it. Didn't even read it. I'll get around to it.
It's very, it uses something similar to Alien, except instead of using all the big dice, they start narrowing it down into D6, D8, D12, D10, which mathematically is actually very, very close. So I'm like, oh, okay. So they have some of that, but I haven't really looked at it as much. At first, I was like, I don't want this, but it came out the second time. I said, okay, I'll get into it. But yeah, I haven't quite opened it up. I flipped through it. I looked at the PDF for the Rebellion, and I know that there's a campaign in the back of it. So.
What I like about the system is that it has a system very similar to to Savage Worlds, where you'll have a die type for your attribute, you'll have a die type for your skill, and then you'll have a target number of, let's say, 8, and you roll those 2 die types. So
yeah,
if you're, and I just love that system. If it also has. Like, I didn't notice if it did have, because it's been a while since I've looked at it, but if it has an exploding dice system like Savage Worlds does as well, especially Deadlands has an exploding dice system, and I absolutely love that. I mean, that gets really crazy, especially dealing damage and such with exploding dice. I don't think Blade Runner uses exploding dice for for hits and damage, that kind of thing, but I love that mechanic too. Yeah, it's a lot of fun. You're going to enjoy it.
I'll pull it out when I have a little more time, take a look at it. But it's
I think
I just
most
find it
things,
weird
you have to be very careful on that, because if you do it, you're going to how do I want to put this? If you're going to spoil the mystery of it by reading the module, and you're like, oh man, now I have to.
I never read modules. Like every Red Room book I've ever bought, I do not read the adventure. If there's an adventure in the back of any game book, I don't read it at all. Just not going to do it.
I just realized I didn't buy the Foundry module for Case 2. Damn it. That's but
what?
So part of their Kickstarters, they had the Alchemy VTT, but you had as part of it, which I'm like, I didn't really care for Alchemy. And then they have the Foundry stuff, but I only got it for the starter set, the base game, and the Replicant Rebellion. I didn't get it for Case 2. So that's what we're talking about with Case 1 and Case 2 is, just like for Alien, it's awfully nice when everything's already preset up for you if you're going to be playing online. Don't get me wrong. I will say so much. Free League's quality for their maps and everything are fantastic. It's nice, thick paper. It's the way it should be, in my view.
No, it's a great box set. That initial starter set is an incredible box set.
But that's what we're also talking about is, if you're playing certain games, don't bait and switch me. That's what I get mad about. If we're going to play an equivalent, which I view as more of a lighthearted, fun kind of thing, which was Star Frontiers, and then you still give me something really dark and gritty, I'm like, well, this isn't really the type of game I was hoping for.
Yeah, but Star Frontiers has an identity crisis anyway. People seem to overlook the identity crisis of Star Frontiers with a smile, and they just like, oh. On the one hand, it's trying to be space opera, Star Wars adjacent. On the other hand, it's like the Expanse, hard sci-fi ship movement. It's like, whoa. Those are two separate lanes, guys. Like you can't have them together. It's just doesn't flow. That's why I never liked Star Frontiers, to be honest.
I like the fact that it came with chits and maps, which a lot of
that's just because you're old and easily amused.
Well, no, I mean compared to all the other stuff that was out there, for box sets, that was fantastic.
No, I agree with you on that for sure.
And then the other part was I did enjoy the Nighthawks because I liked having space combat, and a lot of the other space combats I didn't like. I did play one time, which we just tried doing a combination, which we always did as kids. We'll just take your sci-fi and my sci-fi, and we'll just mash them together into something that can never be.
But that's riffs, right? That's what riffs is. And Paul, who's in the chat, says that all the time. It's just basically taking your GI Joe and your Star Wars action figures and smashing them together. It's not fun. I'm a big proponent of settings that make sense. Even if their sense is woo-woo and crazy, but at least there's a logical consistency to them, and that's just good writing. Bad writing is when you just throw everything in and go, well, dart all this. It's like, well, that doesn't work, because then you have no foundation for the characters and the players to work from, because anything goes. Anything goes is dangerous.
I will say something that, talking about this, and I think they were used more as a publicity tool, is I like what actually Wizards of the Coast did with Exodus, which is it's based on a 5e engine, but it is much more hard sci-fi, and I think they realized because it's a video game they're trying to produce, they kept out of all of the political aspect. They don't mention any of that, and the point is that the characters are traveling. I don't want to quite say time dilation, but the expectations players, as they approach the speed of light, determines in how long they perceive time, and as they go out and they come back, it's supposed to have changes. So if you go out to a world that's 5 light years away, it's going to be at least 5 to 10 years, to get there. And then, of course, you have to include the return journey back. And so I thought that was an interesting aspect for that. And the way they do it is every time you go to mission, you go up a level, which I think works out well because the expectation is you're not going out every day or something like that, which happens in a lot of level-based systems. It's interesting, but I will say as much as the artwork and the quality and the paper and for what they're selling it for, it's dirt cheap. And I said, this is meant to be kind of a coffee table book that's an RPG rather than it was as just, hey, this is an RPG that we just threw out there. I just hope that, but it needs like one more book, but it's really working on it. But yeah, I think it's used as game promotion more than anything else. But what surprised me is they don't even advertise it.
Yeah, I've never heard of it. I still don't know what you're talking about.
I'll pop one in the link just so you can see, but they're sold out.
Okay.
Like I said, it was like $40. I'm like, oh, okay, or something like that. I mean, with shipping and handling for the 2 books, it was $40 each, and they packed it like it was intended to be a, they protected the corners with cardboard and everything else. It was interesting. But I'll throw it up on there. It's just completely different, and they released it and they really didn't let anyone know.
Did you see Savage Worlds and Palladium are doing another one now? One of their they just launched a Kickstarter for one of their space setting, whichever one that is from Palladium, is now going to be a Savage Worlds edition.
Okay. Oh, really? What is that?
I can't remember the name of the setting.
They just kickstarted it?
It's on Kickstarter now, as far as I know. Let me double check because someone I know backed it. So that's why I got a notification about it.
I recall. Let me look up. So that'll be under. I'll just put Savage Worlds and see what comes up.
Phase World. That's it. Riff's Phase World.
Oh, Phase World.
Okay,
Yeah.
I have the original.
So
Yeah,
there we
there's
go.
Funded in 5 hours. Remember when they were
That's kind of
funded?
long.
Phase World.
Yeah, remember when Savage World shit would fund in 5 minutes? Holy fuck!
Yeah,
Okay,
a lot of stuff lately, and I agree, Paul. I don't know why so many people do that now, or still do it.
I
I
saw
wonder if
that,
it's like
yeah.
laziness, or they're just like, we know how it works, so we can count on this. So let's just stick with doing the Kickstarter. I'm like, why? You're established. Exactly what you said.
Because it's for advertisement as much as anything else. Also, it gives them an idea of how much they should print. So
I'm not interested in this.
Which part?
The Phase World.
Oh, well, and that's the other part too. Is
Yeah,
it
not my
feels like,
genre.
anyway, should
Well,
I
it's
just put
definitely
in
very
your link?
specific.
Should I just put in your link for Exodus?
Where?
If you go in Discord, go look at.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I can't do that right now.
Oh, okay. I'm
Must
just
put it
letting
in
you
the
know.
private chat here in the restream.
Yeah, I'll have to log off to do that.
Oh my god, you guys, your computers are so complicated.
Well,
No,
the problem is
just
I'm on my iPad. and
it's
I'm
not
trying
that
to
if I try to go and do anything else but restream right now, it messes with my connectivity or something, and it I'll take a look at it later. But yeah, I haven't touched my Rift books in 25 years, and it was funny because I did go look recently, thinking, okay, it's been like 25 years. There's got to be a crap ton of new Palladium books, right? And I went through every category, and I'm like, looks like they put out 10 books in 25
Cool.
years. I'm like, they used to
I got
put
a
this stuff out.
delivery. I'll be right back.
Well,
Okay.
here you go. Let's see if I can.
It seemed like they used to put out like a book a week or some shit, just constantly new stuff out. And I'm like, nothing all that new, nothing I haven't heard of before.
There you go.
Oh,
And
thank you.
nothing I'm gonna. Yeah, I haven't touched them in 25 years. I'm not gonna start. I mean, I'm playing Dead Rain with Nerdy Ogre.
Ooh, they're gonna get in trouble. They're using AI for their web page design. Ooh. Ooh. Someone's gonna notice that and make it stink.
I don't think they're going to really care because this is.
Oh, you have not seen the anti-AI crowd these days, Omanal. They're going fucking berserk.
No. I literally have friends of mine that are that way. No, what I'm referring to is is that's for a video game
Looks
anyway,
nice.
so it's much less. But it's
Yeah, it looks nice. It looks very nice.
But what gets me is because they're doing all the artwork for the video game, they put all of that art and all the conceptual art and everything else in the RPG. So it feels more like a coffee table book because of that. And they need one more book out. Is really what it needs. And they're supposed to have one coming out soon. I just thought it was weird, when they did that with the encyclopedia. So like the Traveler's Handbook is basically your player's handbook. The Exodus Encyclopedia is basically your monster manual. And then I guess the Chronicles Malau are your campaign book. But yeah, I think that they do a really good job for that. But it's interesting just of what's coming out there. And, like I said, WotC's been real. You think that if you're going to bring out a new RPG, you would advertise it to at least the RPGers versus people just playing the video game. But nope. That would, all right. Yeah, but like I said, I put the link into your chat.
Okay.
You should be able to see it on the bottom where it says private chat.
Yeah, but if I bring it up, it will discombobulate the stream, so we're not doing that.
Oh, sure. Okay. I was like, you can put it off to the side, when it does that thing. But
so what'd you get?
This should be Oh, I know what it is, actually. I'm going to do a box opening right now.
Yay!
You know what gets me is they shipped my stuff and didn't tell me that it had been shipped. And they're doing that more and more often, like with DHL. DHL let me know 4 or 5 days after I receive it that it had been shipped.
DHL is shit. We have one here called Intelcom that everybody's been using, and they're the worst. They have literally delivered my shit to other people's addresses, taken a picture of the package at the door with the wrong address on it, and marked it as delivered. It's like, wow, well done, guys. Now, when Amazon deals, you call up Amazon, go, dude, what the hell? They're like, sorry, we'll send you a new one. We apologize. Like they're right away. And I'm like, what do you want me to do with this giant painting they left at my door that belongs to someone else?
Yeah.
You can just keep that, sir. It's like, okay, thanks.
I'm telling you, man, Amazon, they must get everything for free because they don't give two shits about mistakes. I've ordered a bunch of their POD books, and every time.
Whoa.
Oh,
We're
damn,
too close
buddy.
for your microphone.
Hey, old man, before you crumple paper, mute yourself. Dear God, that hurt.
It was
Grandpa.
bad. It was bad.
Come on, Grandpa.
You have you have headphones on.
Yeah,
It's not funny, you old bastard. It's not funny.
Yeah, it's like me and him diagonally. We don't. We're not. We're not taking any hit points damage.
Okay.
I will say this much: for anyone that wants to pick up games, my suggestion is wait until probably June or July. And most of the there's usually sales that are about as good as the Black Friday sales.
Really?
For Free League, they used to have a 50% off on almost everything. Now it's just their starter sets and like their boxes. But if you like a system, that's the time to go get it. And I think Modifius usually has like a 25% off during the same time period.
I wouldn't buy the fucking cure for cancer if Modifius had it.
Oh,
Really?
Okay. I thought that you kind
I
of liked their
despise that. No, I hate their fucking Star Trek game. It almost made it's one of the reasons I'm doing Star Quest is I'm so disappointed with the modern
It's
state
funny,
of Star
Bear.
Trek.
I sent my copy of that game to Bloodworth years ago because I knew I was never going to play it.
Yeah, it's an awful game. Oh, that's nice.
So this
which
is
is this one?
this is the Majestic Fantasy from Robert Connolly.
Oh, okay. It's a nice thick book.
I have something by him. Hang on.
Yeah, it's the original books, like the core books. The basic rules are much smaller. I thought this was going to be that same size, but it's actually a full size book.
Oh, so instead of digest, it's the
it's not digest. It's standard
8 by
size
11 or whatever it is.
But that completes it, and then it comes with these, with these full size maps, which I was like,
oh, okay.
like what am I?
I have this. This was the first thing he put out that I bought.
Yes, I have that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Look at the size difference. Look at the size difference, man.
Yeah, this is this is the Northern Marches. The includes 12 posters and 200.
How much was that?
200-page guidebook. So this is the guidebook. This is the posters, which I'm like, how the hell am I storing these? But these are the full-size posters. Total of 12 of them. The thing that killed me was the shipping. The shipping for both the book and the maps were as much as the book itself. So
wow.
it was like $40 in shipping and handling.
Where did you buy this?
This was from the Kickstarter. So this was and so the shipping cost on drive-through was almost, it was like $20 for the one, and then the other was actually it was almost $50 in shipping and handling combined. And then
from somewhere in the United States.
Oh yeah, of course. All of it is printed in the United States. I don't know why the shipping cost was as high as it was.
That would fit. That looks like it would fit in a large flat rate priority box.
Well,
in
yeah,
the United
this is the
States.
box they sent it in. The
Okay,
maps.
that's smaller than a large flat rate priority box, which for
Yeah,
$30 will get you insured to $100 and on your doorstep in 3 days for $30.
Yeah, how do you tell how much this cost them to ship?
What you do is you take that box
Mm-hmm.
and you pack it back up and you put it on a scale and then you go to the U.S. Post Office and try to ship it back to them.
Yeah, I don't know why it was. Yeah, I can
Uh,
actually look to see what I
because
paid in
they ripped
shipping.
you off.
But the maps are beautiful. The maps are absolutely beautiful.
I'm going to let you know. Remember, it's the and handling, so it's
There
not just
is
shipping
12
costs.
of them,
They
so
their
that's
cost is for
quite a bit.
handling. Yeah.
I just don't know how I'm going to store them. That'll be interesting.
I didn't know that.
But this is gorgeous. This book is like really, really good. So now I have the complete, the complete thing. And I was interested in this system because it's about as old school as I can imagine. Like, that's still practically usable. If that makes any sense. So I have the full thing. So this is the basic rules. And like I said, digest. So then this is how to make a fantasy sandbox.
What system is it? Is it BX? Is it white
It is.
box?
I think this is a supplement compatible with Swords and Wizardry. So it is going to
White
be.
box.
I think it's more white box
Yep.
compatible. Yes. And then like you had the Black Marsh. This is the hardcover for what you had, Bear.
Yeah.
And in digest size. And
Yeah.
then the Isle of, I guess this is Payed, which is an adventure. And so now I have this here. So complete, very happy with it. I will do I waited 6 weeks for the shipment and didn't receive it. They gave me a refund on the items that ran out, and we were ready to send the second copy.
Yeah, that's me.
When it suddenly arrived.
That's me. No, I mean, I've had really good luck on stuff, and I know that Paul's complaining about, but I had it where I waited 6 or 8 weeks and it hadn't arrived, and I knew it was coming from overseas, and I said, "Hey, do you have a shipping address for it?" And they said, "Oh no, we don't. We'll send a copy for you." I said, "Oh, but we ran out of these certain items, so we're going to refund them." And then it arrived like a day or two later after I had notified them, and I said, "Hey, you can cancel whatever that order is. I got everything. How do you want to handle the refund?" They're like, "Well, just keep the money." I was like, "Oh, okay." But I had the same thing happen with Cubicle 7, where I bought a bunch of their Warhammer stuff. And I said, "Hey, guys, it's been like 5 weeks. I haven't received it." And then they finally, and then like a week later, they sent me a shipping thing. I said, "Oh, good, they got my email." Well, then about a week or two after that, they said, "Oh, we're sorry, we haven't shipped it out." So they sent me another copy. So I have like 7 or 8 books that are duplicates because they did that. And I don't know what happened. Somehow it got lost in the postal system, and that it kept going back between Austin and here, back and forth for like a week and a half for their replacements. And I said, "Okay." And I've been trying to give them away, and no one wants them. I'm like, "Are you sure?" I mean, it's like $300 or $400 worth of books. So
It's weird. Did they have they had a different? No, it's the same. I'm trying to see. I'm trying to find the originals.
Of what?
Like the original listing for these, so I can see how much they might not have these available on for sale yet on drive-through, so I can't bring up.
So what I've been noticing now more and more is that the shipping and handling, and of course they did this, years ago when you used to buy stuff on, through the telemarketers, when, "Hey, you can buy this, and it's $19.99 plus shipping and handling," and then they jack up the price of the shipping and handling.
Yeah, that's what they did here. The shipping and handling was something like almost $20 per thing, and the one was
Really?
26.
So I know that sometimes that's why I usually buy in bulk, just because I'm like, hey, we're going to do this. But you're right, the shipping and handling has gotten so high for a lot of people.
Mhm. And the
Yeah, they could have definitely fit both of these in one box.
post
But I
office.
guess they were afraid with the packaging that if this thing slipped around inside, it would have destroyed the maps. So that's the only thing I'm kind of happy that he did it that way, because if they sent them in the same thing, that would have slid around inside the map box, and that would have been no good.
Yeah,
So
I've had a lot of packages have been really mishandled from the UPS or
Mhm.
USPS, excuse me. And I got a notification the other day they're about to raise the prices on priority and some other service, not media, not the cheap stuff, like
Mhm.
9 to 11%. And I'm like, but your service quality is gone down the shitter in the last 6 months, so you're gonna charge us more for the same,
Yeah,
you know.
all of them are like very like crazy. So like Amazon is like they have no problem refunding, and a lot of times Amazon, like my wife ordered shoes. They sent her 2 pairs. Charged her for one, sent her in two. So she's going to send in the other pair that she didn't, ask for, and ask for a refund. So she'll get the shoes she wanted because they're two identical pairs. She was like, I don't need 2 pairs, so I'm going to send it back and get a refund. My daughter got a shirt where she didn't like the fabric of it. Like she was like, oh, I can't. This has got to be like hand washed. It can't be machine washed. It'll shrink. But she really likes the shirt. So she said, I'm going to send it back just to get a size a little bit larger. When she sent to put in, because it's a third party, whatever. And Amazon was like, here's your refund. You don't have to send the original back.
Yep.
So my wife was like, okay, fine. And I had the same thing with like my my AD&D first edition DMG. They sent me the wrong cover because I was trying to get all of the Easily covers, and I was like, all right, I'll get all the Easily covers since that's the way the player's handbook, and that's how they have it advertised, was with the Easily cover. So I wanted all the orange spines across the board, and they sent me the original cover. So I said, I went to the buyer and I said, this isn't the cover that you advertised, and I specifically was like, oh, just keep that one. And if you want, he says, I don't have the other cover. So he just refunded me and said, keep it.
Yeah, no, drive-through is the same way. I bought some stuff from drive-through to arrive with dings because of the way it wasn't packed well. So
Right.
the corners of the hardcovers got dinged in shipping.
Oh, yeah.
And I sent them a message. And they said, okay, we'll send you out new ones. I went, great. How do we return these? No, just keep them.
Yeah.
Amazon did the same thing. I bought some
Yeah.
stuff off Amazon. The book showed up beat the fuck. I'm like, hey guys, this beat, they're like, do you have any pictures? I'm like, no. They're like, okay, well, we'll just send you a new one. Don't worry. We're going with the old one. Just keep it.
Mhm.
Like,
Yeah,
it's
because if they're
That's
going
what
to
they did with your Valorous. I got it like that.
yeah.
same here. My cop, I've got 2 copies of Valorous, 2 copies of Savage Swords, because they're gonna pay for the return label on shipping. It's just easier to send you a refund or another item.
Yeah. Ultimately, I think it costs them more money.
Yeah,
to
the profit
replace them.
margins are
Yeah.
so insanely high that whatever the item is, it's costing them $1.
Yeah.
So they don't care.
So no.
Thanks for sharing that, Cold Iron. I'm not even going to highlight that, you weirdo.
That's really weird, dude. No, but that's why I use Amazon Print on Demand and not drive through Lulu for my stuff, right? Why?
I will never use Lulu.
Because I have fans in Australia, I have fans in Europe, I have fans in America, I have fans in Canada. And when they buy from drive through or Lulu, unless they're the Americans, they pay a fucking dick charge to get it shipped to them. Like, it's insane. Whereas Amazon fulfills locally and charges them whatever their Amazon Prime shipping is. Most of them get free shipping anyway. So, you know what I mean? Much better.
And not only that, but Amazon is so much faster. Like with my screwed up copy of one of the Savage Sword books from Red Room, I told them and the replacement copy arrived 2 days faster than the original copy.
Yeah. No,
And
like
they
I
said keep the
literally,
original, keep the beat up
yeah,
original copy, which I'm sending to Cal. Oops. And they're so much faster. Lulu and drive through take like 4 to 6 weeks to get it to you.
oh
If
yeah.
Amazon takes 4 to 6 days, it's because there's a holiday.
Yeah. No, it's really insane. Uh, so like I have a book I ordered off of drive through for the Greyhawk sale, right? They have this Greyhawk Players book or whatever where they put all of the stuff together. It's a hardcover and it's nice. It was on sale for like $20 hardcover or something. I'm like, I'm gonna buy that. It's got great reviews. I'll buy that. It still hasn't even printed, and it's been a week. You know what I mean? It's a week. Now, if that was available on Amazon, it'd already be in my house.
So
And let's
one
not
thing,
forget, thank you again, Bear. Amazon won't take my money, guys. I spend an insane
No,
amount of
drive
money.
through won't take your money.
Oh yeah, you're right. Drive through won't take my money. I spend an insane amount of money on games and books, etc. And I would
Yeah.
spend a huge chunk on drive through. I mean, they've got so
What
many
is there?
things.
What is there? Have they ever given you a reason
So
why
drive
they
throughs,
don't take your money? That doesn't make any sense.
but drive through lives in this little bubble where they don't really have competition. So they get to act like however they fucking want to act because they're the only game in town, right? So the printer they work with, this Lightning Press or whatever they're called, are the worst. They're the worst. They're the same printer Lulu works with, but somehow Lulu gets better quality out of them than drive-through does, which I will never understand.
Lulu does not make better quality.
Then drive-through, yes. I've had the
Really?
same product come from both on a test printing for me of my product,
Oh, okay.
and the
Really?
Lulu one was vastly superior.
I'm going to say this much.
Really,
So much of it
I've gotten some
depends on your
crap prints
local
from Lulu.
person.
Oh, I've gotten shit from them too.
Yeah,
Wait, but so much depends on the local printer that they're using, and
Mhm.
and so you don't know, like if you're in California and it's a completely different printer than one in
Yeah,
like
yeah, but
Nebraska.
you know what though? Lulu's how do you call it? Like if you're not happy with their product for legitimate reasons, their bar of what's acceptable is shit. Okay. Drive through. Every time I've ever had a drive through back in the day when I did have problems with them, with what arrived, they'd be like, "No problem, keep it. We'll send you another one." And the second one arrives faster. Whereas Lulu goes, "Oh, those are acceptable conditions under our, guidelines. If you don't like, like there's bleed or there's wavy pages or there's a ding in the cover, they're like, uh, that's well within our acceptable limits of, acceptable damage."
It
Or
depends on all the contract. I mean, like everything else, everyone wants to ignore this. So
but
much
where
depends on the contracts between them and their printer. The other part that comes into it is, and this is why you're talking about with Amazon. Amazon writes that all off on their insurance. And as such, even stuff that would arrive to you normally, once they write off, they're not allowed to deliver it to you.
Well,
And
yeah, that's the thing.
that's why a lot of people go over these auctions and they
Yes,
get like
they buy these pallets because Amazon will literally, if they don't sell it at the pallet sales, they put it in a landfill.
Yep.
So they don't want shit back from you. That's why they're most of the time like, just keep it, because they don't want it back. That's a pain in the ass for them.
It's considered insurance fraud if they send it to you after they've already claimed it being damaged. I mean, that sounds funny.
It doesn't sound funny. It sounds actually
my friend was like
and honest.
With Compaq. That happened with Compaq and Dell back in the day. We're talking in the 2000s, where you used to be able to get stuff for insanely cheap because they would ship it out and then they would say, "Oh, it's damaged or whatever," or it got lost. The big one is it gets lost, which usually means it bounces in the system until someone complains. And they're like, "You know what? It's easier for us to just write it off." And they're like, "Oh, you can't deliver that," and they put it off in a pallet, and like you go buy the pallet. And that's where a lot of people get, of course, you don't know what the hell you're getting in a pallet, but but I've had that happen where they had like one copy of a book left. And I said, "Hey, I'd like to buy this book." And you know what they said? Rather than shipping it to me like, "Well, we just give you a refund." I'm like, "I just wanted the book." But no, I mean, there's all sorts of weird different qualities for stuff that is. I can tell the difference between good books and not. And then one thing I do like is is it Latvia that like Medivia
Yeah.
and
Latvia,
Lithuania.
I can't remember if it was Latvia or Lithuania, but I
It
like
was
the
Lithuania.
printer. They do a good job on their printing for their stuff coming from there.
With drive through, like other than complaining about them not taking my money, the only reason, because every time I try to make a purchase through them, I'm on my phone with my bank checking to see if my bank is even getting pinged that they're trying to like take my money, to make the transaction go through. And drive through says, "Oh, your bank is not accepting our requests." And my bank guy is on the phone, literally a human, saying, "Nothing's coming through." They're lying to you. Literally, they're not even trying to charge you. Okay, which means they've got in their records or in their files somewhere that I did something that they didn't like, and the only thing I've done that they didn't like could have been my interactions with Venger or the Red Room. In reviewing their product and having them on and enjoying what they put out. Or the fact that I complain that they won't take my money. I mean, how dumb is that? I mean,
I
a
don't know.
regular,
Well, again, I don't
regular
know what's going
customer.
on with yours, and maybe what you should do is create a fake. Hey, I'll put different money in a different account and see if it will
Yeah,
get.
I don't know how I would even get that started because I don't like having a bank account to begin with. I normally do everything in cash and take my money. My bank has literally got the bare minimum to keep it open, and everything else is put in other locations. Just because I'm not, I don't want anybody knowing how much money I have or what I'm doing. It's nobody's business except the IRS, and I come clean with them every year just like I'm supposed to.
Oh, that reminds me to do my taxes today.
But you would think that they would not only want my business, but the fact that whatever I buy, I'm going to talk about and review on the channel. You would think the bare minimum is like, hey, we're getting a 2-for-1 here from this guy who just wants to throw money at us. I'll never understand it. Every 6 months or so, I'll try again and see if they've taken me off the blacklist. But
There's probably something like they found in Twitter where there was a hidden, moniker that wasn't even shown to most of the programmers, and you had to like find, who
well,
knows
they say if you look around on their site, they say that they literally kind of security check and ban people that they don't like, and I'm like, I've never been on Twitter. Okay, they couldn't
No,
see
no, no, no. I'm using that as an example
Mhm.
of what happens is that if someone doesn't like you, they put you on a
The
phantom
list.
blacklist that most people can't even see.
I
That's what
doubt that.
Yeah, yeah.
I doubt that so highly. Like
I don't know what's
they
going
just
on with
they
them.
just don't care is the problem.
Yeah.
They don't give a
Well,
shit.
well, you would, like I said, you would think that they'd want a regular customer.
They
You know,
have regular customers. They have tons of regular customers.
Do you know what they'd probably
That's the
ask
point.
you to do is, hey, create a new account. That's what they usually tell me to do if there's something wrong with the account.
Yep.
It's like, hey, please create a new account, and so
Just re-trigger the process through a new
yeah,
account. All the automation kicks in and does a new connection to your bank at that point in time.
yeah.
Try
That
it, see if it works. Just test it for fun.
I mean
You have more than one email, I'm sure, Shadow, right?
but the problem is I've only got one bank account, one way
Doesn't
to pay.
matter. Doesn't matter. Just go ahead, make a new account using a different email, use the exact same banking information, and Bob's your uncle. Or if you're really having an issue, set up a PayPal for your bank account and
They
then just
won't.
pay with PayPal.
They won't take PayPal either.
It always takes PayPal. That's it. So
Mm,
make a new account. Make a new account
I'll
and
try, but
set it up and trigger. But if it works, it works. If it doesn't,
I'm
I'll buy
I'm
you a
I'm
book.
letting you know that there are some weird things that go on because we've all worked with computers and like,
mm,
well, why do I have to reboot it or why do I have to create a new thing? I've had that happen far too many times, and it's like, well, there's something wrong with your account. We don't know what it is. It's going to take too long to fix it. Just create a new one.
Yeah.
Or sometimes frustrates me, but but yeah, who knows? But like I said, for insurance, it's one of those big things about shippers. It's like, look, it's better just to write off as a loss. We'll make the money back from insurance, and we don't care what happens to the rest of it.
Well, so what Paul's talking about there with the books and the cover
Yeah.
of the comics and magazines, because they had to put that position in place because stores were claiming that they didn't sell it and getting a refund, and then they realized they were getting scammed. The publishers said, well, send us back the cover. Just tear the cover off and send us that back, so that way we know you can't resell the book as is, right? Because they were getting fucked. And that's the problem. Every time you run into something where you go, why the fuck do I why do I have to do multi-factor authentication on everything? Well, because someone fucked around one time or 10 times, and there was enough of a meh about it that they had to put something in place to stop it. And now we all have to pay the fucking price, right? Sucks.
It was years ago. They said, what was it? It was, you can have 100% security and no productivity.
Yeah.
That's what I mean. When I took when I was in computer science, that's what they would always tell us. So it's like, well, you have to figure out how to do a combination to still allow it to be effective. But I still have to laugh at work because my work computer is about half as fast as my home computer because of all the crap they put onto it for security.
Yeah. You got to log in through a pipe, and there's this, and there's that. It's like, God, it's so exhausting.
Well, we have to have
my work laptop is
in the
shit.
background. It has to do the authentication. It has to have all of the monitoring software. Okay, fine.
Yep.
That's lame. That's lame.
Well, not really, because like I said, when I worked at Dell, man.
No, I don't mean that. I meant the other part that there are so many dishonest and unscrupulous people out there trying to, the work that some of these scammers go to scam. There are jobs out there that are easier and pay more.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I'm not disagreeing. It's just one of these things that, like, what were they talking about years ago, which I was watching about these guys that were building marijuana farms in California. And the amount of effort they put into it was like, dude, if you just work like a regular job, you do so much better. But it was like they would come in, they would put on special shoes so it looked like animals. They would hand carry, huge pipes up the mountainside on foot, and it was just like, that was pretty insane for that. And it's just like, things would just be so much better if you didn't have to do that. But like I said,
well, now they don't have to. Now there's a weed shop on every freaking corner.
This is still the illegal stuff. This is still the illegal stuff going on now. It's because it's outside of
California. Yes,
because they don't get taxed. It's tax evasion is what they're doing for a lot of this stuff.
Oh dear God! I think it's actually that they're smoking too much of their own product.
This is a lot of the cartel stuff where, again, if you put the taxes high enough, people will go around. It's the same reason with moonshine. Hey, you banned it, so people do it, and then they kept doing it because they don't have to pay the high, excise taxes. You're always going to have it if your taxes are too high that people start evading them.
Well, taxes in and of themselves are too high.
It's not the tax that bothers me.
That's enough of these guys. Later. Take care, Cal. I was actually getting ready to shut the show down. Normally, Bear, I only do about an hour and a half. Yeah. So that we can go.
You've confused me with someone who gives a fuck, but that's okay.
Just being polite.
I know.
Call the electricians. See what my son needs to know.
Gentlemen, thanks for stopping by and playing along, and hope you guys have a great day.
Yeah, I got my game starting in about a half hour. So
nice.
I gotta go back to work for a stupid client meeting. Okay.
All right. Well, take care, Bear.
Have fun,
everybody. Guys. Have a great day.